All right, good morning, guys. Today is Friday, May 2nd, 2014. And again, I can't, man, guys, I can't stress enough how important it is to if you're going to day trade the E-Mini S&P, I can't stress enough how important it is. You've got to factor in what's going on in the NASDAQ and what's going on in the market internals. I can't stress that enough. I tell you, once you start using this, you're going to be so much happier. I don't know how else to say it, but once you start using this and really understand how to use the market internals and the NASDAQ, on that first trade of the day, if you will, or first or second trade of the day, during those morning hours, it's very important that you are on top of things within the first, if you're going to trade, if you decide to trade within the first 2 hours of the day. And it's very important to use these internals. If you start using them, like I've been talking about, like I did yesterday and like I'm talking about today, and I did it in the E-Mini video on Wednesday, guys, you're going to avoid those lower probability situations, okay? All right? And I can't stress enough, you can't be trading alone in a vacuum, only using that 3-minute chart. You've got to factor in the higher time frame chart. You've got to factor in what's going on in the internals in the morning, and it's going to save you from those lower probability trades. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't stress enough. Let me show you this morning what happened. Okay, the market opened up, right, pretty much unchanged for the most part, and then initially, sold off a little bit, and the nicey tick here is pretty much kind of neutral, and then immediately caught a bid, okay, and the bulls took control. Market rallied up, okay, put in a high right around 83.75. Here's your low, okay, your initial range low. And again, for those of you that implement that 30-minute breakout trade, this is very important. And again, for those of you that are going to trade that first trade of the day, I can't stress enough. You've got to get a handle on the on watching the NASDAQ and the internals, and it's going to vastly improve, the way you view the market and filtering out those lower probability trades. Look what happened this morning in the E-Mini S&P and NASDAQ as we put in new highs in here. Okay, well, first of all, let's go over the 30-minute break. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. If you traded the 30-minute break, okay, you'd be looking to buy it right in here. Okay, now let's look at this. Here we are shortly after 10 o'clock. What's going on after 10 o'clock? Well, the NASDAQ, as the ES is actually pushing new highs, the NASDAQ is pushing new lows. Look at this, guys. Okay, warning sign. Okay, that is a warning sign. Okay, what's going on here in the nicey tick? Well, we're slightly bullish, and then as we approach the 10 o'clock hour, you see that the nicey tick is actually moving lower. The S&P advanced decline line is moving lower. Okay, now the nicey advanced decline. No, I'm sorry, this is the NASDAQ. No wonder. I was like, wait a minute. The S&P advanced decline line was actually moving up, okay, along with the majority of the stocks, the New York Stock Exchange, okay, the nicey advanced decline line. All right, and but what was going on here is what's going on in the NASDAQ is we're moving lower, so you do not have that congruency there, but yet you've got the S&P internals actually pushing above 200. So with that being said, you could have traded a 30-minute break. If you didn't because of what was going on in the NASDAQ, then that would have made sense too. So you could have gone either way here, because the NASDAQ was pushing lower, although the nicey tick or the nicey advanced decline line and the S&P advanced decline line was pushing higher. Now, if you weigh the three, the advanced decline line, the nicey tick, and the NASDAQ, you're actually kind of leaning towards not taking the trade, Okay, if you did take it, you barely got your first profit objective. It did hit that first profit objective. It went what, maybe 2 ticks beyond that first profit objective from 4.25. It went up to 575. Yeah, that's it. That was it. Nothing more. Okay, and again, you know, the reason why is you got the Nasdaq pushing lower, the NYSE tick pushing lower, even though the advanced decline line was pushing up, and you know, it's slightly bullish, but not, you know, it's not screaming, hey, we're going to the moon here. So if you passed up the trade, good call. Even though you would have gotten a point, it was a good call to pass that trade up. Okay. Now what was going on is this market was pulling back into support. Okay, let's just quickly look at that in here around shortly after 10:30. You've got the advanced decline line. As this market was pushing new highs here, the NYSE advancers was pushing highs. We've kind of topped out, okay, right around in here. As this market has, you know, the market had pulled back. Let's clear those off. The market didn't quite pull back enough to get you in the trade. And if you were sitting right in here, the market didn't quite pull back, it popped back up. This is exactly when you want to look at what's going on in the internals to see what's going on and the Nasdaq. Okay, now, as this market's moving up, you should be looking over here saying, okay, we need new highs. Okay, we need new highs. We didn't get it. Okay, we've got some negative divergence in there. Okay, we didn't get those new highs. All right, and what's going on in the NYSE tick? You can really see the negative divergence in the NYSE tick. Okay, so you know, these aren't, today in this situation, it's not very powerful, but the fact that the Nasdaq did not push to new highs. Okay, here think about this. The ES is pushing new highs. The Nasdaq is actually making new lows. So the Nasdaq to really show signs of confirming that you need to take this long trade in here, this Nasdaq should have already taken out this high. Okay, that should have already taken out that high, and then that would have confirmed, go ahead and buy the market right there. Okay, makes sense? Guys, the higher odd trades are, again, trading with the trend, and then trading when all the markets are congruent with each other. Okay, I can only look at a few things at once. This is about max for me. So really, I mean, if you narrow it down to the ES and the Nasdaq and these internals, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. You really don't need anything else. Okay, just narrow it down to this. All right. So I hope that helps. You know, if you've got any questions, you guys can feel free to email me while Todd's gone this weekend. I'll be checking my email here and there. So, and then let's quickly look. I wanted to, the first profit objectives were hit on both NOV and DLPH from yesterday. I briefly talked about this yesterday. Both profit objectives were hit, actually. We had a double inside bar right in here. Okay, your entry on NOV ended up being yesterday. I can't remember if, you know, because I talked about this on the premium video, so I don't remember if we got filled yet on the videos or what. But the entry, you were in NOV, you should have been in NOV just above that, you know, right around 79.15, 79.10. The option price, I think it was like 470. No, hold on a second. Yeah, 475. The option price was 475, because then today, and I talked about, you know, exiting your trade, looking at the high of this bar and the opening price right around this 80-30 level, and it also is in confluence with 50% fibs from your low up to this high. Okay, I talked about that as being a potential profit target tripper. So you should have been looking to take at least a portion of the trade off there. Okay, so you could have been out with, you know, let's say a third or a fourth at $5.80 for $1.05 profit in the option price, and those $75 calls, those June $75 calls. Okay, now they've pulled back a little bit. You know, this has kind of happened this morning when the market kind of topped out. So we'll see what happens here with that, if we get any more continuation to the upside. Your next profit target tripper is right around in this area. Okay, maybe just under 82 or 81.70, right around 81.70 or so, right around there. Okay, potentially look for a second target if you're long NOV. Okay, and then the other trade we looked at real quick, guys, was Delphi Automotive, and I was concerned because the option prices were a little spread out, and it seemed like the market got moving yesterday. Actually, the entry was on Wednesday, and the market got moving yesterday, and the option price, when we did the video, we cut the video yesterday, really the options, the price had moved quite a bit up. Well, I mean, it's a lower volatility stock, 25, 50 cents higher, and the option price, we were pretty much, the price on the ask for the entry price was pretty much on the bid. So we're pretty much just above break even, maybe 20, 30 cents above break even, that bid price because of the spread on this. And then today, with this move up, the call options they're inflating the call options a little bit in here today, and was able to actually get out of this trade for $6.40 on the option price on those August 62.5, the August 62.5 calls. And right now they've actually traded a little bit higher. They're up at 660 by $7 right now. So that was a good trade. Both first profit objectives hit on both NOV and DLPH from what I pointed out yesterday. So, I hope that helps. And then also, again, guys, I can't stress enough on these market internals, to use those. It will pay you to pay attention to the internals in the NASDAQ while you're trading the E-Mini S&P. You just keep focusing on it, and you'll pick it up, and you'll start to kind of see what's going on and start look for those things. Look for divergences, look for congruency, look and see, is the NASDAQ falling out of bed while the ES is climbing, and then look at historical charts and look in the past, and that'll just accelerate your learning of all of this. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys, and we'll see you next week. Y'all have a great weekend.